So, without further ado, I will say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. Thank you very much for giving up your time today to find out a little bit more about our campaign. For those of you who were able to join a couple of weeks ago, we went through the basics of the campaign and said today we'll be talking about the toolkit. So that will be the key thing. But for those of you on the call who couldn't attend last week, we will be doing a brief recap as well, so you know exactly what is happening. Okay, so a basic walkthrough our toolkit for the 2024 FH Awareness Day campaign. So just a little bit of background. FH Awareness Day has actually been running for 12 years now. And the key purpose of it is to unite everyone, and that's patients, patient ambassadors, clinicians, scientists, and the pharmaceutical industry as well. So that together, united, we can actually we're amplifying the word about FH so we can reach further afield and really help to increase the awareness. And obviously, a key thing we really need to talk about is the difference between high cholesterol and genetic cholesterol. So, of course, the familial hypercholesterolemias, both heterozygous and homozygous as well, which is what FH Awareness Day is all about. So by combining all of our stakeholders together, we can make a difference and really help reach those people who've never heard about the familial hypercholesterolemias before. So just some statistics for you. So, and why we need the day. So globally, over 30 million people across the world have got familial hypercholesterolemia, and the heterozygous form is the most common, with 1 in 300 people having it, and yet only 10% have been identified, which is pretty alarming when you think how common it is. And of course, if it's left untreated, both heterozygous and homozygous can cause atherosclerosis, early heart attacks, early heart disease or stroke, and even premature death. And particularly for those with homozygous, it can be as young as 1 year old. So, and that actually leads on as well. So for example, and I personally find this really hard hitting, every minute a child somewhere in the world is born with heterozygous FH. And every day a child is born with homozygous FH. And to be honest, in 2024, we shouldn't be letting this happen. So heart diseases caused by FH can effectively be prevented today. So the key message is prevent the preventable. And Albert, may I just draw on you here just for one moment to tell your amazing, I can't think of a word, but the story that you tell your kids in your clinics to help them to understand how they can live to 100.
Yeah, I promise every child who enters the outpatient ward that they will become 100 if they do the 5 right things: eat healthy, don't smoke, exercise, take your medicine, and look to the left and the right when you cross the road. And if you stick to these 5 rules, then you'll become healthy old. That's the idea. Emma?
Thank you, Professor Albert. And I have no doubt it works. Maybe go on to the next slide, please, Bella. So coming forward to our campaign for this year. And as I've briefly mentioned, the main aim is preventing the preventable and helping people understand the difference between high cholesterol and the familial hypercholesterolemias. And I'll pass over to Magda shortly to join in and talk about the 2 major projects that we're involved in, which are Perfecto and PerMed FH, and then how that plays into the larger European backdrop with the cardiovascular health plan and the World Heart Federation petition, which many of you will have received either through us directly through email, or you may have seen on social media. We hugely encourage you to sign this petition. I need to put my teeth in today. Sorry about this. And you know, get cardiovascular health up there in the minds of all of our policymakers. So Magda, may I pass over to you, please, to talk about Perfecto and PERMID-FH?
Super, can you hear me?
Yes.
It's fantastic. So I want to, ahead of getting into the speech, apologize to anyone who has not yet heard me speaking when I'm coughing. I have a bit of a health issue, so if I'll try to get through it very quickly before the next cough attack. So Perfecto is a project that we have secured, and it's co-funded by the European Union. And we are working on it with 5 partners, including partners from Romania, Cyprus, an international organization for Euroscan, so scanning the horizon and focusing on health technology assessment, and then European Public Health Alliance. We also have engaged patient organization from Bulgaria, because we are focusing on specifics and challenges in some of the countries like Cyprus, Romania, and Bulgaria. And we will be looking as well at the challenges faced by patients in Ukraine. Why am I saying all of that? Is because Perfecto is really aiming to demonstrate the importance of personalized prevention and precision medicine, and that as well incorporates social sciences and personalized communication models. We know already for so many years so much about FH, but unfortunately the needle hasn't moved, and there hasn't been much progress when it comes to screening. And it looks like maybe we are missing an important point when it comes to being far more targeted, precise in what and how, through what channels we say, educate, and so on and so forth. So we really want to look at precision medicine and personalized prevention through social sciences. PERMID-FH, on the other hand, is a project that we secured with partners, scientific partners, and it's led by the Portuguese Health Institute with Professor Mafalda Bourbon, a very well-known geneticist, and who, just like Albert Wigman, absolutely loves FH, so much so that she even gave birth to her daughter on FH Awareness Day. The group comprises experts, clinical experts, research experts, and geneticists, and FH Europe Foundation. And the aim is really to look at different genes and variants and mutations to really drive better classification, and with that to improve how patients with FH are being treated, so that personalized treatment can be prescribed. And we hope to have some great results in the next 4 years to share with the world. So that's Perfecto and PERMID-FH. Perfecto has got its dedicated website, so we're happy to share it with you. You can go and visit it. PERMID-FH website is currently being developed. Emma, over to you.
Thank you, Magda. And so now we're coming on to the bit which I'm sure all of you are waiting for, which is talking through the toolkit. We really took on board what you said on the last call, and the importance of having a press release. So we've added in the press release as well. And we've tried to simplify the messages and make them really pop, be eye-catching, and something that you're really proud and really want to share to help get the message across. So Spelle, if it's okay with you, please can you share our Awareness Day page? Everything you're going to see at the moment has been prepared, but a lot of it is still in review. So whilst we're showing it to you, it will be ready in full for Monday. So we've got the website explaining what FH is and the difference between heterozygous and homozygous FH, of course, and then the awareness day and the toolkit, which is further down, of course, why we need awareness day, so going through the statistics as well. So the videos and key messages will be uploaded very shortly. We've got the countdown videos, which we have examples of right here. So we've got countdown visuals for 1 month to go, which is obviously this Saturday as well. And then today is, of course, in between there, we've also got one for 3 months to go. Sorry, not 3 months, 3 weeks to go, 2 weeks to go, 1 week to go, tomorrow, and then the awareness day itself. And previously, we've always had still images. And this year, again, to make them pop and to draw attention, we've gone for the small animated videos as well. The editorial calendar will also be uploaded shortly, but we can give you an example of what that looks like. So as usual, we've split it down week by week. You'll have the social media overview of what's going to happen on each day, which post will go where, at least how we're doing it. And then will also be the opportunity, because we've got some webinars coming up as well. So the webinars, the links of the webinars and the images for that will also be included in the schedule. And then that's the overview. And then we've also got it week by week as well. So we start off with high cholesterol versus FH. So you can see here, you've got the images on the left, which are like the videos that we've just demonstrated, and you'll have a link to those as well. And then the key thing to look at here is the section in blue. So the way the videos are set up and the writing as well, you have a teaser, which is to draw people in, the information which explains a little bit more about what's going on, and then what the call to action is, because there's no point in having the information in the teaser if we don't have a call to action for people to actually take action, of course. And then that all links into preventing the preventable. And then we're also, of course, supplying the messages, the longer messages for LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter/X, and Instagram as well. So these will be available. And then we've also got additional weeks. We've got week 2 is early screening. And then we've also got genetics as well, and the cardiovascular health plan. So the areas which are in blue, we invite you to translate. Obviously, you can translate the longer messages as well if you would like. But by what we'll do is we'll provide you with the link for Canva so that you can put in your own translation directly. And the great thing about being a patient organisation and a non-profit is that Canva is, even Canva Pro, is free for you to use. So hopefully that will be quite straightforward, and you can add in your own translations. Of course, if you have any questions or difficulties, you can always contact us, and we'll be happy to help.
So Emma, may I just come in for 1 second? And
Absolutely.
maybe if I can suggest for that moment, Bella, to maybe stop sharing so we can bring everyone's faces up. We're a small group today, Anyone here, you're very much invited, please, to put your cameras on, because we're not doing it as a webinar, we do it as a meeting, an opportunity to say hello, but also to raise your concerns maybe or questions. So we've noticed over the years that we produce certain tools and they look very nice, but then not everyone is able to use them. Excuse me. And we've been asking some of you to try and understand why. Is it not? Is it because maybe it doesn't relate to what you're doing? And it actually turned out that people are happy to do it, to use it, but very often they struggle because they don't know how to do it. And I think the reason why we have those calls is to ensure that if your organization, whether a patient organization or as an individual or maybe a partner, would like to, excuse me, leverage that, those tools are as user-friendly as they possibly can. So each of you will have an access to this Excel sheet that we showed. You are invited to use those materials, but you don't have to. You are invited to use the visuals, but if you prefer, and I look at our friends from Italy here because they are technically savvy, Frederica is always on social media with EAS. If you want to have it in Italian, we can give you the link to Canva, which is a tool for images. And if I'm speaking Chinese and nobody knows what Canva is, well, maybe it is as well an opportunity to learn what Canva is, because it helps produce images for your use and for campaigns like this one. But as Emma mentioned, we're always very happy to support you. And if this is beyond your scope and maybe technical confidence, we're happy to support with that. So I just wanted to pause for 1 second to make sure that everybody sort of understands what the opportunity is, but also you can think in the meantime to give us feedback to say, great, not great, and so on and so forth, okay? If we could get a nod or just some sort of a facial expression. Awesome, wonderful, thank you. Maria, thank you, fantastic that you turned your camera to give a heads up, super. Emma, I think it's going to be back to you then. Excuse me.
I've just seen Jenny's message. Jenny, yes, that would be wonderful to catch up with you as well. Definitely. Thank
Jenny
you.
from Canada? My goodness.
Jenny, yes.
Jenny from Canada, lovely to have you on the call.
Lovely to be here. I was scrolling through Instagram yesterday and I was like, oh my gosh, I was just diagnosed with that. So that'd be we're patient-run organization, so it'd be awesome to connect, and I would love to collab on this awareness week.
Jenny, welcome to an extended welcoming family of people who want to raise awareness. Emma will be on the case.
Brilliant. Okay, so moving on from the editorial calendar, we've also created an official frame, and again, based on feedback from HOFH Awareness Day, we're hoping this frame is going to be much easier to use and far less fiddly. So here we go. So Spell is going to demonstrate. So you'll receive this link. And we've just got to go back a little bit because we were doing a demo earlier. So here you'll find your I Support FH Awareness Day ring, and then you choose your photo from your laptop, your computer, from your file.
From your phone as well?
From your phone as well, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you just upload it, position it how you want. You can also add, as you can see on the screen, you can add filters, you can add text if you want to. If you want to add your patient organization logo as well, absolutely, you can do that. And then you go to download. And then you can upload it to whichever form of social media you like. And make it into your profile picture, or just have it on your page. So hopefully that's far simpler than the way we've used previously.
And I hope we will make, again, Frederica happy, because this is way simpler, isn't it, Frederica?
Okay.
Don't worry, we can save some time for you to speak at the end, so you don't have to stress out about unmuting yourself. But you are my personal champion to have your frame and Arrigo's frame done last time.
Yeah. We'll also be having a email signature as well that you can use to support FH Awareness Day. And again, I'll ask at the end if anyone will need help in knowing how to set up a new email signature with the logo as well. And again, that's something we can provide instructions for if it's helpful. And then we should have our wonderful FH Awareness Day logo as well, which will.
And I think it's important to add, maybe when we say the FH Awareness Day logo, there is no official one global logo, but we have been using this visual, FH 24 September Awareness Day, for almost 5 years now, and we know that it has somehow organically picked up and a lot of people use it, but we do respect the fact that the FH Awareness Day was initiated by our friends in the States, by the Family Heart Foundation. And obviously, if any ever logo should be launched, it would be probably by them. But we like to use this particular visual because it seems to be kind of naturally used by people. So feel free to use it.
Yeah. It's nice and simple as well. It does what it says on the tin, to coin a British saying. There we go. Okay. And then at the bottom of the toolkit as well. Oh, sorry, Shabella. I think you've probably got another image there. Show. So this is another example of what will be in the toolkit for you, which again, you can translate into your own language. So as you could see, you had the teaser, you had the information, and you had the call to action as well. And then obviously the finish for preventable. Okay, thank you. Oh, and before we go on to the webinar, we do, as I mentioned, we do have a press release which will be going into the toolkit. And Magda, would you be kind enough to
Sure.
that through, please?
Okay, can I just confirm that you can hear me? Because I've been playing a little bit with my computer and I don't know where I am at the moment.
Yeah,
Can
I
you
can
hear
hear
me?
you very well.
Yeah? Okay, so Spella, I don't know if I can share my screen, but I think it's not so much important. Nobody is going to read a press release. We have prepared a press release which captures the purpose of the FH Awareness Day, with the focus on highlighting the importance of understanding the difference between lifestyle-induced high cholesterol versus genetically caused high cholesterol. But all of that against the backdrop of the latest developments in Europe with Perfecto and FH, PermedFH. That's, as FH Europe Foundation, of course, very important to us, but also demonstrating the importance of working together and highlighting some of the successes and examples of campaigns that you have provided us with. So giving examples of what you do in your respective countries. We do respect and appreciate that not every single patient organization has got capacity to do more than social media, but some activities do stand out. And there is as well the European very important backdrop right now, as well as the global push, which Emma has alluded to. So we do demonstrate in our press release, we refer to the European Cardiovascular Health Plan, where there is the big emphasis put on primary and secondary prevention, and as FH Europe Foundation, we have been fighting to make sure that cardiovascular, genetic, CVD risk factors find their way and are being articulated. And only recently we had the pleasure to be in Budapest at the ministerial meeting under the EU presidency to really advocate for the European Cardiovascular Health Plan. And then lastly, the request and the reminder about the global push as the World Heart Day happens only 5 days later on the 29th of September, and we remind in the press release about the petition. In the press release in current state, which takes about 2 pages, it is a little bit lengthy, but I think it's important that people understand the backdrop. We also have a space where you, if you would like to use the press release, you can incorporate your own specific activities and highlight what you do. So I would just take as an example right now maybe Croatia, where there will be a dedicated run. If you would like to highlight that and say, you know, in Croatia we do this for FH Day, but this is what's happening in Europe and globally. So the press release we're using is an FH Europe Foundation press release, but it's offering for you the possibility to pick up any elements or chapter paragraphs to really make it yours. And we wanted to make sure that we don't sort of, that we give you those elements, but without imposing anything in case you want to have your own very specific press release. And I actually wanted to run a bit of an exercise with everyone, but it was only a spontaneous idea before this call. And I was wondering, Spela, if we could stop sharing, and maybe I could do that. I could share my screen. I wanted to to run through you some of the ideas of potential, excuse me, title for a press release. And I wonder, Emma, if we're doing okay on time and if I can still do that. You're on mute, by the way, but I can see you say yes.
I'm sorry, yes.
Excuse me. Okay, so let me just share that. And the reason why I want to do that is because we want to use this call, which is a practical, almost like a workshop call, rather than a webinar, which I said earlier, to test things with you, to get your, you know, instant feedback, or maybe to stimulate you to think differently, because ultimately there is so much that needs to be done for FH awareness, and I think it's really time to start thinking outside of the box. At the same time, and I wonder if you would like to share your thoughts on it, there is this current tendency to somehow disregard FH because cholesterol, overall high cholesterol, is causing so much trouble in the public health space that somehow we are missing attention when it comes to FH. And I just thought, okay, how can we bring the attention back to FH? Just one second. And you need to help me a little bit because I feel like I am losing ground underneath my feet with all the cough and technicalities. Can you tell me which screen? Can you see the press release right now? Yeah, fantastic. So as I said, the press release talks about the differences between high cholesterol and genetically high cholesterol. It mentions those different elements, but also leaves you space to mention and highlight your specific achievements, plans, or campaigns that you're doing. And then finally, there is the call to action to understand the difference and act on early detection so we really save lives to prevent the preventable. And then finally, I thought, how about if we looked at different titles? And I just wondered, I will not lie, those were generated with the use of AI. Is there any title, for example, that if you were to pick up such a press release would draw your attention and would make you read it and really make you stop to think, there's more than just, classical high cholesterol, and I need to think about it twice, whether as a person, as a clinician, as a politician. So this is just a quick exercise, and if anyone wants to come in and comment on that, any preferences, maybe none of them. I know that you're still reading it, but I will do the Magda countdown. So it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So anyone, and if nobody comes through, I have my preferred people who I will ask for feedback. Not to say that Kenya will be one of them. Olga, you've unmuted yourself.
Yeah, spontaneously, I think the second one could be something, a good title for all people, independently of their background.
Okay, thank you. I was looking at that, especially as diet is now such a hot topic with diabetes and obesity. I thought it would draw attention. Ken, any thoughts based on what the campaign is about, based on what we discussed earlier, and the run through the press release?
Yeah, I think you've mentioned the phrase "prevent the preventables" several times in the presentations, and so has Emma as well. I think it's really snappy. It really engages. People see press releases every day. You tend to disregard them unless you're grabbed by a specific interest in the topic or a good title. I think if you could build that one in, that could be a nice way of leading into the topic. It certainly grabs the attention. So that was just my 10 cents.
Okay, so none of the 10 offerings here. You would rather go for the really emphasizing the key message.
I need to read them. I'll read them through and I'll put some notes in afterwards. But yeah,
Awesome.
I prefer my preference, Magda. You know that.
Good. Hey, listen, it was just a bit of an exercise to engage you. If anyone else has got something to say, I do invite you. If not, in the interest of time, we will move to the next section because we want to give you the floor. Emma.
Before you go over, Magda, lots of people have put in a chat box that they prefer number 6, breaking the cholesterol myth when a healthy lifestyle is not enough. I think 4 or 5 people have said that.
Okay, see, I was thinking that we would go for family ties, the genetic link to high cholesterol and cardiovascular disease. I guess it just shows that we are all different and have different preferences. I thank you for your attention and for participating in that. I will stop sharing here. And again, the press release is now finished. It just needs a final review with our colleagues from the Perfecto and PermedFH groups, so they are happy with that. And obviously, nothing moving on can go out if Albert Wigman doesn't cast a final scientific yes or no on it. So Albert, it would be great if you could add to that. Emma, over to you.
Thank you, Magda. Spella, could we just go back onto the website, please? Perfect. Thank you. So I just wanted to share as well that we are having, or we have got, I should say, a resources library as well. So we've got previous recordings related to FH, both heterozygous and homozygous. And also at the bottom, we've got the links to the series of 5 webinars we co-hosted jointly with EAS last year as well. So if you click on the Watch Here link, that will take you straight through to each of the webinars we did last year.
And can we add, Emma, for those of you who don't know, those were really first ever webinars that we did in partnership with EAS. They were only 30 minutes long. and every day for 5 days there was a different topic. So throughout 5 days there was a story built into it, and I think on each of them we had at least 1 or 2 patient speakers. And I would like to say that I think we did a pretty good job. Albert, you were speaking there, Emma, you were speaking there, but I think it was a lovely balance between scientific expertise, medical expertise, as well as lived experience and advocacy.
I heard that all over, altogether, 689 people attended the meeting,
Yes.
the webinars,
Yeah.
in 27 countries. That's magnificent. But can still be more.
Always. That's
I
why we
see
promote it.
Ivan, Professor Pessin has twice his hand up, and I'm really interested in how Croatia does it.
We will get to that. We have a specific.
Thank you, Professor Deacon. I just clapped my hands.
Oh, you clap your hands, but you raised your hand as well in the earlier before, I think.
We do have time for Croatia to speak up. We do have time for that, so we wouldn't miss it for the world. And it's funny how our patient organizations call turn out into be clinicians' calls. But we're happy to have you. Okay, Emma, back to you.
Thank you. We will have time for questions and answers at the end. If we just return to the presentation, I will just finish up. So yes, as I said, we collaborated with the European Atherosclerosis Society last year, and I'm happy to say we are doing the same this year as well. And we have a webinar proposed for the 24th of September. And yep. And speakers are confirmed, but will be revealed very shortly. And we're also going to have 2 recordings, which will be available on demand during the week about, again, as the theme is, high cholesterol versus genetic high cholesterol. And then also the link between obesity, diabetes, and FH. There's been some interesting papers that have come out on that quite recently. And of course, I can't forget, we also have some additional webinars on the 15th, no, sorry, the 12th, the 19th and the 26th of September related to specifically HOFH, which Albert is going to be moderating and is kindly involved in as well. So there'll be more information coming out about those in the very near future. And then I think I only have a couple of more slides. So examples of national activities. FH Cole Austria have got their symposium on the 11th of September. We have our very own Nicola Bedlington speaking there, and of course Professor Albert Wiegmann as well. You're joining in that too. So that will be a fantastic day. And it's a face-to-face meeting that we're organising. The Czech Republic as well, Chaco, they have their 9th OFH Awareness Week. In Luxembourg, they've launched their FH paediatric screening, which I believe we've been involved with.
They will be launching, and they've requested to help and partner make a lot of noise about it, because it's such a great achievement for a small nation with wonderful people and friends of FH Europe who have fought tirelessly to make it happen. So this is really great news and something to celebrate, that FH pediatric screening will be launching in Luxembourg, and we will be assisting with the promotion and communication around it. So yes.
Thank you. And particularly as we have Professor Pechin on the call as well, we'd be remiss not to mention Croatia and their run for FH, which is taking place on the 22nd of September. And you may have seen in the chat a couple of images that Professor Pechin posted, along with a T-shirt, which looks absolutely fantastic, I must say.
But
And if I
Emma, I need to interrupt you to say that except for Professor Pechin, there's also Professor Reiner. Those two people are the ones who have advocated for years, not only for Croatia, but also helped and contributed tremendously for FH pediatric screening with FH Europe. Professor Reiner was our speaker in Slovenia at the high-level meeting and helped with some of the publications. So I appreciate that this is already 3 years ago, but it takes so long to get certain things happen. So I don't want to give all the credit to Ivan, you know. I
no, we've
think
got to include
Professor
Professor
Reiner
Wright there as
gets a
well.
little bit
I'm
too.
sorry.
But
And
Ivan has done a great job, I have to say. Well, if I might say concerning the pediatric screening, I think it's a great job that we did 2 years ago when we started with compulsory screening of all the children entering the primary school. And actually, last year we were even surprised because we are a small country with 3.56 million inhabitants, and we unfortunately have a decreasing number of newborns. So last year we had only 33,000 newborns, but we got at our screening 36,000 children. So I was a little bit wondering how this might happen, but this reflects, of course, the situation 6 years ago when we had more newborns on one side, and on the other side, you have overlapping children with 6 years and 7 years when they're entering the primary school. So anyhow, we had big success with the last year, which was the very first year after the pilot studies and so on, when we really got all the children's population screened. And I think it's quite an important issue, and we are going on, of course, this year and next years. And Ivan Pechin is really I would say, father of public awareness campaign on billboards, on public transportation means, on organizing this run for FH things and so on in different cities, which is extremely important.
definitely. Thank you very much, Professor Reiner, and the job you're both doing in Croatia is phenomenal. Magda, have you got anything else you'd like to add there at all?
No, I think we need to give floor. I'm sure Ivan wants to say something, and we should mention
I can
Singapore.
comment. I can make you all. No, I won't comment. If I'm a father, then Professor Reiner, he's my teacher. I won't call him a grandfather, but everything that I did was on his platform. To be honest, it's very easy to be such successful when you have a good solid ground. So maybe you saw probably on the social media. I can share maybe 2 minutes presentation. That's just to inform you what we did. You won't believe in the last 1 year in Croatia. So if you give me the lead, I will share the presentation. What do you think?
Yeah. So maybe Emma, just quickly finish Singapore,
Yes,
and then it will be.
I think it's Q&A after that. There's just a little bit about the timeline. So yes, I just need to give Singapore a mention as well. They've recently come on board as our newest organisation. Organically, they sort us out, and naturally, we want to support them. And so they're having their first FH awareness seminar within a hospital on the 26th of September. And this one is aimed initially at the clinicians, healthcare professionals, and raising awareness within the hospital. It's a great program they've got set up. And they've also got the CEO for Singapore, the Singapore Heart Association, coming along as well as the guest speaker. And then going forward, they're going to be running additional events for patients as well. And then,
Emma, would it be
yes,
worth to mention that we are always very happy to endorse, support such initiatives. We would
absolutely.
love to lend our logo to demonstrate our international support. So you can see on Run for FH and the Singaporean leaflet, our logo is there in a symbol, in a proof of support and collaboration cross borders.
Yeah. Yes, familial hyperlipidemias do not know borders. So final slide is just the timeline to show, obviously we've had the call today. The website with the toolkit will be fully available from Monday. The visual for 1 month to go will be going out on Saturday. We can try and we'll get the logo to you, but of course we will be posting too, so you can always share that across the social media post using the hashtags, which we'll send out as well, including Preventable FH Awareness Day 2024, Find FH and Find HOFH. As we've mentioned with the translations, in the first instance, if you are comfortable and you understand Canva, we'll be giving you the link to Canva so you can do your own translations. If you do get stuck, as both Magda and myself have said, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. And then the official launch is the 2nd of September. Okay, and now we're on to Q&A and opening the floor to you. And of course, Ethan as well, if you'd like to give us your update too.
Yep. So thank you very much. If you can give me just the commands to share screen, I will show you what we figured out in the last 1 year. But this is as I said, this is the result of, I hope that you can see the screen. This is the result of really, planning for many, many years. And as Professor Reiner, can you see the screen, please?
Yes, we can see the screen.
So as Professor Reiner said, so we really started with the national program for the screening of the preschool children. And to be honest, we started with everything with this public campaign, which is called Znaš li svoj broj, or Do You Know Your Number, with FH Awareness Day in 2023. So this was officially the first public event that we did. So we started with an FH. And of course, as you said, that you have a problem worldwide that we distinguish in between common dyslipidemias and FH. We don't do that in Croatia. We raise the awareness parallel, and the FH and homozygous heterozygous, even nowadays LP(a) and allele deficiency and everything else that goes into rarer dyslipidemias, but also with common dyslipidemias. So how we manage this public campaign? So it's called Do You Know Your Number, or Znaš li svoj broj? It's everything is turning around through this QR code that you can see on the screen, and it's easily screened with your camera, and it goes to the web page www.cholesterol.hr. So this is a public campaign, and as you can see here, we published very intriguing posters. You will see it here in the waiting rooms, for example, but the same thing was in the outpatient clinic waiting rooms, but also in the pharmacy stores. So here it says, do you see everything that you need to know? And the lady is looking in the mirror, and here says cholesterol kills and the QR code. And the QR code goes to the web page. So it is designed for the public, for the general public that is not aware. So the recent data in Croatia showed that 60% of population has cholesterol higher than normal, and the awareness is very, very low. And as you can see here, as I said, we started everything with Run for FH last year. It was on the World FH Day in the beautiful park of Maksimir in the city of Zagreb. The weather was devastating this morning. It was 10 degrees and raining, but we managed to, as you can see, couple here, 200 runners. We ran for 5 kilometers for cholesterol lower than 5 millibars per liter. It was very beautiful, followed by the media and everything. So it was very, very good run. After that, we started, as Professor Reiner said, through the country, in Zagreb, in Varaždin, in Samobor, Rijeka, Osijek, Velika Gorica, Dubrovnik. And as you can see here, this is one tram stop in the city, in the city, near the city square, main city square in Zagreb. One of you doesn't know, is that you? So two of them are looking at, and you have cholesterol kills, and you have the QR code, as you can see here. So it was through the Zagreb, not only on the city public places in tram stations, but also on the bus stations, and even on the big posters in the city avenues. We also got this, as you can see here, tags, like in the hotel room for the door, and we put it in the public transportation in Zagreb. It says, do you know your number, cholesterol kills, and the QR code. And also we managed till day design 3 buses, as you can see here, cholesterol kills with the QR code. So nowadays 3 buses are running through the Croatia, and we have promised till the end of this year in several other countries. I think we will have the number 10, I hope. And also we are now negotiating with Croatian Airlines, so it's an airline company in Croatia, that every single passenger and the tourist that buys the ticket will get a leaflet on dual language, on Croatian and on English, about the harm of cholesterol. So here you can see a public one big billboard, the same thing, do you know everything that you should know? And this is the web page. And here is the one booth, the hunt on cholesterol, as you can see here. It is on the city of Zagreb, but you can see here the music. Everyone
We can
are
see it,
invited, nurses, students, patient organization. As you can see here, it's a big interest. And I know that Professor Wigman will love this movie. So this is the public run that we organized in April, because the preliminary results of our screening that Professor Reiner mentioned showed that 10% of children have cholesterol higher than total cholesterol higher than 5.1, but underneath, below the 6.1. I think it is the consequence of physical inactivity and bad healthy habits. So we organized a Run for Health for Children, and I will leave you to see this movie.
Ivan, as we talk about children, I don't know if you've noticed, but we have actually one child joining this call. So it would be lovely to recognize that while we talk about children, it's also important to demonstrate that they are here with us joining this call.
The big novelty is the rock players. So those are the children, and they also rock for FH. So those are the children aged 15 and 16 years. And after the run for FH, we have rock for FH. Children are playing for the cholesterol. So you can see here, there were the preschool children. There were several rounds, only 300 meters, but this is the main the main square in Zagreb, city of Zagreb. So as you can see, that's it in 1 year. There is much more, but I would not like to steal any time from you.
We will only want to know how you made it
continuing.
happen and who paid for that, because it's incredible, and I'm sure that you're getting all those questions. And I would suggest that anyone who is interested more or to find out more, we will actually have Professor Ivan Pecin speaking at our annual network meeting in Vienna this year. So we will get more details, and there will be more questions to him. Thank you so much. I just wanted to, Emma, steal a little bit of time, because we have Mark and Rose from Lebanon joining us. Hi, Mark. Hi, Rose. They're joining every single call now. Hi, hello. Mark is one of our ambassadors for HOFH and the judge for the competition. So thank you so much for joining.
Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you for making the time. I hope you're okay. Everything all right?
Yes.
We are looking forward to meeting you in Vienna as well.
I hope so.
Well, we hope so too. Keep safe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for attending. It's much appreciated. And for those of you who are over in Canada and the US, enjoy your day. And for the rest of us, enjoy your evening.
The afternoon. Bye bye. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
Bye.